Good afternoon, everybody. It is 1 o'clock. It is time again for this month's Gen Well session. And today we are joined by Bonita, and she will have a look for us and help us with gratitude. She calls it the pathway to well-being. As you know by now, well-being is part of the vocabulary we use at Gen Well, and it's a privilege for us to have you all online. Bonita, welcome. We're looking forward to the session. Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you very much for the introduction. I am Bonita Maboeta. I'm just to give you some background as to who I am. Qualified as a social worker, working in workplace well-being for over I think 24 years now. So General has invited me. I work at the Northwest University as the head of the Employee Wellbeing Program at the moment. So I'm pleased to come and speak to you. You were kind of a very unfamiliar audience to me. I'm used to speaking to the staff of the university, but I'm glad also to get exposure to other people and diverse group of people. Yes, so welcome here. I'm going to speak to you about gratitude, which I coined a pathway to well-being, because we often think well-being is only related to me going for therapy or me just doing exercises, me going on a healthy diet.
You can carry on.
Okay, now I saw something in the chat, but you monitoring the chat, I assume. So I just want you to use your phone, go to menti.com or whatever device you have in front of you, and then once you get into menti.com, type in the code. It will ask you for the code that is there on top, or you can just use the QR code on the screen as well. Okay. So I want you to think about those things that you are grateful for, and type it in. Okay, so I want you to look at the space where you're sitting. If there's a place or something that you can see that you find beautiful and something that you can appreciate, maybe if you can look outside the window, if you have a picture in your office, I don't know where you're sitting, if you're in the workplace, find a picture or find just something, a tree outside the window or anything that you feel that you actually like and you find it's a positive things that you are viewing. And then I want you to notice what about it makes you like the thing that you're looking at. Maybe if it's a tree, you like the green leaves, maybe there's wind blowing through it and so forth. Then I want you to notice your breathing. I want you to notice how you are breathing, and I want you to breathe deep in through your nose and then out through your mouth. Then I want you to think about those things that you are grateful for in your life, but really grateful for. Not, there mustn't be a but. Say you're grateful for, yes, friends, family, and air. I see somebody is grateful for friends, family, and air. Anybody else, welcome to join into the chat. Some people might be grateful for their life. Somebody might be grateful for their religion, their relationship with their God. Whatever religion you might be thankful for that you have a job. You might be thankful for the fact that you have an income. I assume if you're joining the session, you have an income of some sort. And I want you to think of that while you're looking at this thing in front of you that just brings you peace. And I want you to notice that grateful feeling that you have. And I just want you to focus on that for a while and have to focus on nothing else. And I want you to notice your breathing, and I want you to notice what's happening in your body. And if there's a feeling of gratefulness that you feel, notice where you feel it in your body. If you're feeling anything, that is positive, that is the feeling of gratefulness that you are feeling at the moment. So, is there anybody here, you can raise your hand, that didn't feel the feeling of gratefulness in your body while we did that exercise? Or you can just give me a thumbs up. You see, everybody has the ability to feel the feeling of gratefulness. And that's the exercise you can do also when you are down or you're feeling out, and then you just go and look at the thing that makes you feel positive. For me, it's usually being outside, feeling the air on my face, then thinking about the things, that I feel grateful for in my life. And usually you will be able to feel that feeling in your body. Most people will describe it and say to me, but I feel it in my heart. I feel gratefulness in my chest. I don't know, gratefulness is usually felt in your body and in your heart and in your chest. Don't ask me why. And then notice it. That's all you need to do, because we all have the ability to feel grateful. So I'm going to go to the next slide and say what you can type in again so that I can see that you are there and you're not only a name on the screen also, but also for you to think. What word describes your mental state today? You can just type into the Menti if you can. I assume some people are typing into the chat maybe. Okay, happy. Yes. So one of the things with gratefulness is to be aware of how you're feeling about it and how you feel in general. Calm, peaceful, and content. That's great feelings to have. And to be aware of it also at all times, because gratefulness has a great impact. And feeling grateful and being able to feel grateful has a great impact on our well-being and how we view things around us as well. So I want to ask yourself, you can, if you want to answer it in the chat or you don't want to answer it, it's or on the Mentimeter as well. How much time today did you spend on negative talk or negative thoughts? Negative talks can be more than 26 minutes a day, I see. 11 to 25 minutes a day. So why I ask that question is because we tend to think of negative things and we tend to engage in negative talk. And what does that look like and what does it translate as? Is on my way to work, maybe a taxi stopped in front of me. I'm immediately engaging myself negatively. And if you start off with your well-being in the morning, your well-being might be at 80%, because you slept well and everything is hunky-dory. You're looking forward to the day. Now you get the taxi, the well-being goes a little bit down. You go to you think about those things that has to do with the potholes in our roads. I don't know what South Africans we can always contemplate the negative over and over again. And you've seen on the group also now that there's some of us who sometimes think for long about negative things or engage for long in negative talk with colleagues, with friends, and so forth. And now I want to ask the other question, and the opposite is to how much time did you spend on thinking what you are grateful for today? Except for now in this webinar. Maybe less than 5 minutes or more. 11 to 25 minutes a day, none more than 26 minutes a day, that's great. If you have the ability to do that. And I will talk to you as to why it's important to be 5 to 10 minutes a day. Yeah. And if you look at the previous slide where people said a little bit more, you know, there's contemplation about the negative. I don't know. I need to ask the question also maybe how's your negative thinking and negative talk helpful for you and your well-being? That's something you need to answer for yourself. But I think you can definitely answer if I ask you in a positive sense, how did your thoughts about gratefulness help you with your well-being? I mean, you just felt it in your bodies if you did that exercise earlier. So, do you struggle with the following? You can also answer that on the Mentimeter. Lack of sleep, concentration, overthinking, managing stress, your mood, or you struggle with none of the above. Let us see what the group says. We're not many on here. Fulani, are there some of these things that you struggle with? Lack of sleep. Sometimes the lack of sleep is due to me going to sleep late, or it can be me struggling to fall asleep, or it can be me waking up 3 a.m. in the morning because, I'm worried about something and I'm overthinking. And I'm thinking about those negative things that's happening to me. Okay. So there we can see overthinking is the main thing. It's usually what I find also in my office when I do therapy. Overthinking is usually the main thing that people experience as well, which you can see there on the slide. Lack of sleep, concentration, mood, and instead, so the way what it says to us here, the way we think and the way we engage with ourselves in the world does have impact on our mental health and our physical functioning with this slide. It contributes to a lack of sleep, concentration, overthinking, and mood, and these things usually have a spillover effect over to each other. Now, if you lack sleep, then immediately you take your well-being already. For me, if you lack sleep, you take your well-being already from 80% down to 60%. And the lack of sleep contributes to stress, anxiety, and then also spills over into overthinking, which is highly related to anxiety. Also, then overthinking, lack of sleeping impacts on my concentration and my concentration levels. I start making mistakes, unnecessary mistakes that I wouldn't usually do, and also managing my stress. And yeah, great to see that the mood is not so impacted much in this group. So, what is gratitude? Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. Gratitude is about that exercise I did with you in the beginning, is to feel grateful and to consciously think and talk about what am I grateful for in my life. It's not about only saying thank you to somebody for something. Conscious appreciation for, sorry for the tea, but for the good things in your life. Okay? So, conscious appreciation for what you have, and those are the things you mentioned earlier: your family, your life, your income, whatever you have that you have grateful for. Acknowledging the contributions of others to your happiness and success is also important. And there might be those people in your sphere or in your circle or in your environment that you cannot be grateful for, but we're talking today about gratefulness and so forth. So have gratefulness for those who have positive contribution in your life. And those are the things that I usually advise people. If there's somebody who's positive in your life, hang on to them, because they give you positive reinforcement. If you come to a person like me who's sometimes a little bit negative, then I'm not helping with your very helpful with your well-being. But gratitude is a mindset, it's a practice, and you have to intentionally work on it. It's not something that you can sit behind and sit and relax and say, oh, gratefulness is going to come to me. And feeling grateful for things, it's just going to come to me. No, it's something you have to put intention behind. Sometimes I say to people, list what you are grateful for. Go and do this exercise that I did in the beginning every morning. And consciously go and think, what am I grateful for? And just notice what it does in your body when you do that. So, the science of gratitude. There is science behind it. It's been researched as to how gratitude impacts on your well-being in general. So I'm going to play this video for you. Let me just see. It's the first time I do this via Zoom, so let me just see if the video is going to work. And let's hope the sound goes with us. I don't know if it's going to work, but you let me know. Nah? No sound. Is there maybe advice you can give me with regards to the audio?
Stop your sharing and then you reshare, and just make sure you tick the box which says also sound. There's an option you have when you share that you
Okay.
also share the sound.
Now I have to figure out, okay, stop share.
So on your Zoom settings, yeah. So share.
Then I go to share again. And then share sound. Okay, cool. There we go.
Okay.
Research shows that adopting an attitude of gratitude, simply expressing appreciation and being more thankful, can measurably improve your overall well-being. For example, studies prove that gratitude can increase happiness, reduce depression, and strengthen resiliency. Grateful people often experience reduced blood pressure, less chronic pain, increased energy, even longer lives. People who purposefully express more gratitude report higher self-esteem than those who don't, and they're more likely to help others, a pro-social behavior also linked to greater happiness. People who capture grateful thoughts before bed sleep better than those who don't. Why so many positive changes? Because gratitude actually rewires our brains, kickstarting the production of dopamine and serotonin. Like antidepressants, these feel-good neurotransmitters activate the bliss center of the brain, creating feelings of happiness and contentment. This appears to be self-perpetuating. Research suggests that with regular practice, you'll train your prefrontal cortex to better appreciate and retain positive experiences and thoughts, and to deflect the negative ones. Here are a few simple ways to deliberately cultivate that attitude of gratitude. Celebrate minor accomplishments. Think about what you have rather than dwelling on what you don't. Tell the people in your life something you appreciate about them. Tell yourself too. Volunteer, hold a door for a stranger, or simply smile more, and you'll probably feel better, as kindness and giving are connected to gratitude. Similar positive brain changes can occur from regular meditation and mindfulness. Keep a daily gratitude journal using an old-fashioned notebook or a high-tech app. The science is clear. Give gratitude a go. You'll be thankful you did.
Okay. Oh, I am now, my anxiety is gone. I'm not used to Zoom, so for me it's always stressful on a new platform. But yeah, it worked, and I'm grateful that it worked. Okay, so there you've seen there's science behind it, and that you have to intentionally work on your gratitude. And the video gave you certain tips to do, to practice your gratitude, and one of it is journaling. So writing down what you're grateful for is a brilliant way to remind you. And sometimes you need to put it up. I put some of the things up in my office on a sticky notes, and I put it on my board. If you're a computer person who doesn't believe in using paper, or doesn't want to use paper, you put a sticky note on your computer, an electronic one. just to remind you, what do I need to be grateful for, and so forth. And then, as the video has said, gratitude reduces stress and anxiety. By focusing on the positive, we can reframe our perspectives on challenges that we experience. You increase resilience. Grateful people tend to bounce back from adversity more effectively than those who don't experience gratitude. And I see it in my practice as well. The people struggling with feelings of gratitude or positive feelings, they struggle to bounce back. So it impacts on your resilience. Gratitude impacts on combats depression. It helps you with depression. If you're suffering from depression or diagnosed with depression, definitely every morning waking up, just making notes on what am I grateful for today. Before you go to sleep, say to yourself, what did I have grateful to be for today? Although it might be difficult if you're suffering from depression, there will be something that you can be grateful for. Maybe your feet that took you to work, your car that took you to work, petrol in your car that you're grateful for, the smallest thing that you can find. There is something that you can be grateful for. Although I recognize that all of us go through different things in different day. It boosts self-esteem. Acknowledging our blessings can be very useful and worthy and make you feel more capable as well. And that's how it boosts self-esteem. Gratitude and social well-being. So this has to do with your connection with the world and with other people. So gratitude makes impact on how you, obviously, if you come with a positive attitude, you connect more easier with people than if you come with, a negative attitude or a negative body language. People connect mostly with your body language when they engage with you. They firstly connect with your body language, and then secondly, they connect with what you have to say. People also connect more with kindness than with unkindness. So you can see how you build your social network through kindness and through gratefulness, because if you're unkind, obviously people are not going to connect with you that much. So it strengthens relationships. It increases empathy, for you to be able to think yourself in other shoes, and then to act in kindness towards somebody else. Fosters a sense of, I'm seeing my spelling errors here, but okay, ignore it, guys. There, we're grateful that I can still type at least and use a computer. But fosters a sense of community and attracts positive interactions with other people. And I'm thinking of a session I had yesterday, and a very positive person. That person I expected was coming to my office to complain. I have a list of complaints because the working circumstances is not so wonderful. And I got the opposite, and I immediately connected with that person. So it helps you to build relationships as well with other people. And if you have positive relationships, it helps with your well-being, individual well-being. So gratitude, I don't know why the slide doesn't want to move on, but let me see there. Gratitude also impacts on my physical well-being. So it impacts on those things that you earlier said that you might have issues with and concerns with, and improved sleep. And we should be realistic. When you practice gratitude, you must practice it over time, before you see the benefits. Also, there's some of the things you can easily get, some of the things that will take longer to get, but it leads to improved sleep. Because if you're fully grateful and you totally there with gratitude, then obviously your mind, the overthinking will not be so much anymore, and then improved sleep. And now you're going to say, Bonita, but it's easier said than done. I know, but we should try to practice it and then see if it works for us. Strong immune system, because your stress levels will lower, and the more you experience gratitude, your cortisol levels will lower. And cortisol has a high impact on how your immune system also functions. And that's why you're under stress. Most of the time, you find that you get sick, or after a high period of stress, you get sick because you get a cortisol, adrenaline low, and your immune system is depleted, or it's not depleted, but it's not functioning optimally. Increased energy as well. with gratitude and then lowers your blood pressure. Oh, ignore my spelling errors, guys, now, but there's a research done about this. So it's scientific facts that I'm giving to you today. How to cultivate gratitude practice is keep a gratitude journal. Be mindful about your being grateful. So if your thoughts go to negative, try to say stop. Say stop to your thoughts and say to yourself, I'm in a safe place. I can be in a space where I'm grateful for things. I'm not in a space where there's danger. Say thank you more often for everything that you have and you receive. You see, you can be thankful for social connection. You can be thankful for being able to work. There's so much to be thankful for and to feel grateful for that you have. And that sometimes, yes, our problems do overshadow, but there's still something to be grateful for. Never, even if you might have concerns, whether it be financial or with family or with your mental health and so forth. Use gratitude prompts, it's good to do it to form a routine mornings and evenings. Tell yourself, and if you need reminders, put it up for you, on your phone. You can put a screensaver to, what am I grateful for today, just to remind you. We in gratitude mode, we're not in negative mode. We're going to spend 26 minutes in positive mode and not 26 minutes in negative talk today. Use gratitude, prompts, and then meditate on gratitude. Meditation is not for everybody, but I think it should be for everybody. Meditation is just being able to be with yourself without any thoughts, any worries, and just being and sitting. And I always advise clients to go outside, take off your shoes. Well, that's what grounding is, to have contact with earth. Take off your shoes, go outside, sit on the grass, and just be and appreciate what you have around you. You can have an empty mind. It's not a sin to have an empty mind. It's not a sin to sit still and not to work either. It's actually good for well-being. So, yes, those are the tips that I have for you in terms of gratitude. What can be helpful for you is to put yourself on a gratitude challenge. You can take a screenshot of this. You can do day one. This is to get you in the pattern of grateful thinking and just being grateful for things that you have. Day one, you can write a thank you note to a family member for what you're thankful for because they supported you or helped you, or they just had positive thinking and they contribute positively to your life. Acknowledge a co-worker's help in an email. That maybe is number two if you have colleagues and co-workers. But if you don't, send it to a family member or send it to somebody else. Day three, list 5 simple things that you can be grateful for right now. The sun, your bed. I'm grateful for the nice shoes I have on because it's so comfortable. The older you get, the more everything you become sensitive for things. Thank a service worker, a barista, a cashier, somebody who's cleaning your office. Reflect on a past challenge and find positive lessons you've learned, because we all have overcome adversity. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been at this age that we are at and being able to work. Because you had adversity at school, you had adversity as a kid, and you had adversity as maybe an adult. You still might have adversity, but you overcome it. So be grateful for it and be grateful for the skills that you have that you use to overcome that. Compliment a stranger. Okay, don't harass a stranger, but compliment a stranger and say, you look so kind, or you look wonderful today, but in the workplace you must be mindful of sexual harassment. So please compliment in a way that is not in that nature, but compliment a stranger to say, you look so friendly, you look so happy, or something like that. Or I like your shoes. But be mindful now and be careful of not harassing people. And then day 7, share your gratitude practice with a friend so that you can pass it on and not keep it to yourself, and teach somebody else to be grateful as well, or to practice their gratefulness as well. Then, to end off, gratitude is a quality similar to electricity. It must be produced and discharged and used up to exist at all. Thank you. come to the end. Any questions?
Thank you, Bonita. Any questions? You can either post or just unmute yourself and then you can ask the question. Bonita, this seems like more like we need to change our mindset as well and the things we focus on.
Yes, definitely. That's why I said you need to intentionally sit and say. That's why I gave the 7 days of practice, because it's something you need to practice, and it will become better over time. If you default and you make a mistake, just go back to day 3, go back to day 4. Don't be too harsh on yourself. Don't criticize yourself too much to say, but I'm struggling to get grateful. Start from the beginning and try and over again, and eventually you'll get there.
Okay. So those 7-day exercises are quite a good collection of different ways to look at it. And if you master that, you'll have a good habit daily.
Yes, definitely, definitely. So, yes.
I like that. I like that. What is the correlation between gratitude and happiness?
Okay. So people who have gratitude are generally found to be more happier as well. And happiness is much more than just a smile. It's a feeling that you have inside, that you feel that I'm generally content. I'm contented and I'm happy. And happiness, you saw the video that people who smile more experience more well-being. People also, because of mirror neurons, when I smile, you think back in your memory, if you smile, somebody else will smile back at you. The chances are great of that happening. So it's because of mirror neurons and our bodies talking to each other without us even knowing that.
True.
So you pass it on as well. So yes, definitely the question is yes, there's a great link between the two.
Thanks so much for that, Bonita. If there's any further questions, you can either put up your hand, but then I'm going to say thank you, Bonita, again. This was quite insightful. And the recording will be posted later as well. You can have a look at that again. But we are grateful that you joined us today. Thanks so much, Bonita.
I'm grateful for the invite.
Have a good day.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Wat is de inkoper?